Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I really hope you're all doing okay and having a great day and an amazing week. My name is Effy and today we're doing something a little bit different. On my face currently are a bunch of products that I was personally disappointed in when I tried them, and that could be for any reason, and I will give you the reasons as we go through this video. Please take this video with a pinch of salt. It is just a bit of fun. I'm not saying that any of these products are terrible. They just don't work for me and I was expecting them to, and that's fine. But I don't normally do very many negative videos on my channel just because I don't see the point in being negative for no reason. But I do like to be honest when I'm testing products and let you guys know how it works for me and my skin and my face. But if these products work for you, I'm super happy and I hope that you are enjoying them. But other than that, I will let you watch the video. If you enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you like my content, please consider subscribing. I put up 2 videos a week and it is all makeup content, so if that sounds like the type of thing, then this is the place for you. But without further ado, I will let you enjoy the video. Please remember it's just a little bit of fun and please don't hate me. Thank you. Enjoy. So let's make a start with primer, and the disappointing primer I have used is the XXRevolution. I think it's the H2Glow Bomb. And this, to me, is disappointing because it's a nice enough primer if it wasn't filled with tiny blue glitters. I think this is a nice primer on its own. It's quite hydrating, it feels nice on the skin, it gives a sort of tacky feeling, which I quite like. It's just the fact that it's got blue glitters in it. And if I'm being really honest, the fact that it's in like a pot and I have to put my fingers in it also isn't the best. I think what I am actually going to use this for is in summer I have a festival to go to and I might just put this sort of all over my body. Because it also, I think it does have aloe vera in it as well, which is really good if you get sunburn and things like that. So I think it will look quite nice, and obviously glitter all over your body at a festival is a bit more acceptable than having it all over your face in everyday life. But yeah, it's just a bit disappointing because I feel like I would really like this primer if it didn't have glitter in it. For foundation, I have the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. I have the shade 05 Light. I was very kindly sent this by NYX. It's just not my favourite. First of all, I think it oxidizes. Second of all, it just doesn't sit right on my skin. I haven't used it a lot, but I've just not really been pulled into it. And I also have this. If anyone has watched the video of me testing beauty-based stuff, I think it was like around this time last year, I tested this microfiber sponge, and I've never used a microfiber sponge before, and I really didn't like it, and I've not touched it since. But I thought I would give it another go today. Also, I've learnt that I think they might be for powder a bit more than actually foundation and concealer. So I will try it with the powder as well and see if that works a bit better. But for now, we're going to try it with the foundation. Okay, so I've just used a microfiber sponge on half my face, and really I just want to do the rest of my face with a normal sponge. So I'm going to do that. I just think the microfiber sponges are just a lot more effort to work with. I definitely think it oxidizes, that's the first thing I'm noticing, which is fine so long as you're aware of that. Also, it dries pretty quickly, so where I've applied it on this side first with the microfiber sponge, I'm now just trying to go back over and like blend it out a bit more, but it's already sort of dried down and isn't as sort of movable. Part of me does think I need to give this foundation a better shot, I need to try it out a bit more, but also my skin's been having like really bad dryness recently, and for that reason I also kind of don't want to be using it. But it doesn't look terrible. It is definitely quite matte. I don't know. It doesn't look terrible. For concealer, I have the MUA Pro Base Full Coverage Concealer. This is not full coverage. I have the foundation of this and I absolutely love it, but this concealer just really isn't the one. It's quite light, but it doesn't give enough coverage for that lightness to really stand out. I feel like with this, if you're looking for a concealer to just brighten, or even if your skin isn't that bad and you just want a little bit of coverage, it's not that bad. But the fact that it is marketed as a full coverage concealer, I don't think it is full coverage. There are some benefits to this concealer. I do think that it's not too drying, it's not too mattifying. It's quite a nice concealer in that respect, but it's not really giving me the coverage I personally would want. For powder, I'm just going to quickly test the microfiber sponge with a loose powder. The powder I have that I find disappointing is a pressed powder, so I'm going to use the loose powder just under my eyes and almost bake, even though I've never baked in my life. Right, so I'm just pressing the sponge into the powder. I don't really know what I'm doing. Okay, so I'll put some around my nose as well. I don't know if I've done it right. Honestly, have no idea. But let's test out the pressed powder. And the pressed powder that I personally found a little bit disappointing was, again, an XXRevolution product. This is their just translucent setting powder. And I think the reason why I find this a little bit disappointing is mainly the price. Just because this pressed powder, I think, is like £10. And when you consider that the Rimmel Stay Matte pressed powder, which I love, is like £6 something, or like super cheap and inexpensive, I just don't see the point in spending £10 on a pressed powder, especially as I don't actually think this one is that good in my opinion. I mean, when I'm touching my skin, it sort of feels set, but it also just feels quite like chalky. And even the powder itself, if you put your finger in it, it just feels very chalky. And I just don't think it does the best job on my skin personally. So I would normally go in with blush right about now, and I am going to, but I don't have a blush that I'm particularly disappointed in. I quite like blush. I'm yet to meet one that I don't like. So yeah, I'm just going to put on any random blush. It'll be linked in the description box, but I'm not disappointed in it. It's an absolutely fine product, so yeah. Time for bronzer, and the one I've chosen is the XXRevolution Bronze and Glow. This is a bronzer and a highlight. This bronzer and this highlight, I quite like the highlight, but I rarely reach for it because I just don't particularly like the bronzer. Although I will say my taste in bronzers has changed a lot, so I might try this today and really enjoy it. I'm not sure, we'll see. But yeah, it's just, in my mind, it's a little bit too cool toned to be a bronzer. It's more of a contour shade for me. In fact, it's almost one of those in between bronzer and contour shades. So I'll give it a go, but for me it's not really a bronzer, and for that reason I don't reach for it because I don't tend to contour that often anymore. I think personally for me, I would just like a little bit more bronze to my skin because I'm so pale. I like to just give it a little bit more of a sun-kissed look, but this is definitely more of a cooler tone on me. Also, I'm noticing that I'm really not enjoying this foundation. There's just certain parts of my face where it's not sitting well, like here and here. It's not looking great, and it's definitely oxidizing. Don't know how well you'll be able to tell, but trust me, it's oxidizing. Now for highlighter, I have the Collection Gorgeous Glow highlighter in Opal, and I'll be honest, I don't think this is a highlighter because it has no shine to it at all. If I put it on my hand, where you'll be able to see it shine a lot more, I feel like the sun is helping it a lot more than it should do, but it doesn't look like that on my face. It doesn't look like that in real life. It's very, very subtle. So I'm going to put it on as I normally would with highlighter, but what I want to do with this product is I actually want to try using it as almost like a finishing powder to give my whole face sort of a bit of a sheen, but not a highlight, just like a glow. So I'm going to put it on this half of my face as a normal highlighter, and then on this side of my face I'm going to go in with a bigger brush and almost use it like a finishing powder. It is very subtle. I think we can all agree that that is a subtle highlight, and I normally go for something a bit stronger. But like I said, I want to try it on this side of my face as a finishing powder. So I'm going in with my powder brush from earlier. I think it's done what I wanted it to. Because it's not glittery or anything like that, not even slightly, I think it's just given my whole face a bit of a sheen, which is quite nice. I think my face now looks very powdery and it desperately needs some hydration. But I think it works quite well. I mean, it looks fine as a highlight. If you wanted a really subtle highlight, you could use this and it would look fine. And it definitely has given glow to my highlighted areas. But I just think I prefer using it as a finishing powder. So I'm actually just going to sort of put a little bit on this side too. And I think now it is about the right time for me to hydrate my face a little bit. I have this. It is the Revolution Pro Fix Oil Control Fixing Spray. I also had the Sport Fix one. I wasn't particularly a fan of either of them. I typically just use them for wetting shimmer shades when I'm doing my eyeshadow. But yeah, I haven't tried many setting sprays by Revolution because I feel like these two just put me off a little bit. Because I just don't think they do a good job at really setting your face. But for hydration, they'd be fine. It also kind of smells like a dentist. Let's zoom you in and take a look at eyes. And we're going to start with eye primer. And I have the e.l.f. Putty Primer in white. I'm trying to like this. I have used it a couple of times now. I'm trying to get myself to like it. It's just, for me, it's very, very matte. And I think it just gives too much texture to my eyelids. I also don't think I should have got the shade white, because it is so stark, even against my skin. And I don't have the palest skin, I know that, but it's so stark against my skin. Now, for eyeshadow palette, there were actually a few I could choose from. I've tested a lot of eyeshadow palettes in my time, and not all of them are great, but I picked this one. This is the Morphe 39L Hit the Lights palette. As far as I know, this was limited edition. It was a collaboration between 4 different makeup artists. The palette is huge, but I think each makeup artist got to sort of pick 8 shades. So this would be one set of 8, and then this would be another set of 8, this is a set of 8, and this is a set of 8. And I think that's a really nice idea, because 4 makeup artists or influencers, I don't know who the people are, I'm sorry, but 4 people got to pick eyeshadow shades for a palette. But that makes the palette a touch inconsistent, or not inconsistent, what's the right word? It doesn't always fit together well, and whenever I do use this, I pretty much always either do a fully red look up here, I try and do some sort of colourful look down here without any blending out shades, or I do a smoky eye up here. And I think for me, the reason why I found this palette disappointing was because I really wanted to try Morphe for the longest time. And looking at this palette, I don't know why I picked it to be the one I worked with, but I did. And it just didn't excite me. And I've actually not bought any other Morphe palettes. I do have another one that my friend gave me, but I've never bought another Morphe palette. I think I'm going to keep this pretty simple and just do sort of like a brown smoky eye. And my battery is flashing at me, so I'm going to have to make this quick. I'm going to go in with this shade up here. Now I'm going into the one next to it. And then I'm going in with this darkest brown down here. Okay, and then I'm just going to pat a shimmer over the top, but I want to pick which one. Also, another thing I don't like about this palette is these 2 shades are pressed glitters, and I don't like pressed glitters. And all these shades in the middle, I'm almost certain, have like very little base to them. You sort of see? They don't have much base. Which is going to work for this look absolutely fine, but you know, if I wanted a base, I'd be a bit screwed. I think I'm going to go for this shade here. There we go, just a tiny little bit of sparkle. Then I'm going to go in with this shade here on my inner corner. And now I'm going to go off camera and catch up the other eye. I'm going to pull the exact same matte shades along my lower lash line. I'm going to do it off camera just because my battery is flashing at me and I want to charge it up. And then we'll come back, do brows, mascara and everything else. I'll see you in a moment. I'm back and my eyes looking a little bit more symmetrical. The annoying thing is, I actually quite like this look, but I don't tend to do looks like this all too often. So not really worth me keeping it, and I just don't think the palette itself is very cohesive. I think they work fine, and I do have another Morphe palette that I actually quite like. It's just a browns palette, which again, I could probably get this look from that palette. But I think the reason I'm disappointed by this one in particular was that I was expecting to try this and fall in love with Morphe palettes and then buy like 50 of them. And I didn't. That didn't happen at all. In fact, I never bought another Morphe palette because this one didn't blow me away, which partially is my own expectations being too high. But also, everybody hyped up Morphe so much and I just felt like this didn't do it for me. So let's take a look at brows, and I've only picked one product, but I might have to use another one just to actually have a full brow. This is the Collection Incredibrow Microblade Tip Brow Pen. It's not specifically against this product. I've just not ever found a brow pen that I've enjoyed. Yeah, I just don't think this is the best. Let me try and find another brow product that I don't particularly like and we'll put them together. I've got this one from e.l.f. It's the Ultra Precise Brow Pencil in Blonde, I think. This isn't a bad brow pencil in my opinion. It's just not the best. It's very sort of dry and you do have to almost like dig in at your skin a little bit to get it to work. I think that's the best I'm going to get. I mean, neither of them are particularly great for me. I know that brow pens are like, everybody loves them. I just don't particularly like them. In terms of this brow pencil, it's fine. It's just not the best for me. I have so many more brow pencils that I prefer. Now for mascara, the L'Oreal Telescopic. Everybody loved this mascara. It was on TikTok. Every single video I watched on TikTok pretty much had this in it. Then I tried it. I don't like it. I just don't think it looks good on me. I like mascaras that give separation, and I just don't think this does it. I think it's a good enough formula, but I just don't think I like the brush. I also just kind of think that the formula itself is so wet that I'm going to make an absolute mess with it. So I'm just going to leave it like that for a moment and almost like let it dry a little bit. I was so disappointed in this product because I wanted to love it because everybody else loves it. And I thought it was going to be game changing. I thought my lashes were going to look amazing. But I just don't like it. And it was so disappointing. I can't layer it up because it'll just clump my lashes together even more. So I'm going to leave it at that. And let's zoom out and do a lip. I'm not going to wear any lashes today because I don't have any lashes that I'm particularly disappointed in. And I just don't think I need to wear lashes in every video anymore. And I know some people are going to be disappointed in this, but the Anastasia liquid lipsticks, I have 3 of them. I have the shade Bittersweet, Trust Issues and Bohemian. And they all look different on camera. This is a red, this is a purple, this is a brown. They all look pretty much exactly the same on my lips, and they all look way darker than this. They look pretty much like, they all look like a dark brown on me. Also, the formula, they're very dry. and once you've been wearing them and they're starting to wear off, they don't fade, they sort of crumble off your lips and you're left with like patches where you don't have any lipstick on anymore, and it's really, really not my favourite, and I pretty much never wear these. But I'm going to put on the brown one today in the shade Bittersweet. There we go. That is a very dark brown, and I went a little bit too far into my lips, so I'm probably going to get it on my teeth any moment. But it's on. And can you kind of see? They don't really look like the same colour. This looks a bit darker in my opinion. Maybe I'm just crazy. But I'll let it dry down a little bit. I do think part of the problem is that I never wear lipstick shades this dark. This is very dark for me. I will just swatch all three of them on the back of my hand as well, so you can see them all. So those are the three shades. The top one is Bittersweet, and then Trust Issues, and then Bohemian. So can you kind of see? They all just look like dark colours, which I wasn't expecting. Especially the red. The red comes out way darker in my opinion than it looks in the tube. I could just be being blind or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, I was a bit disappointed to be honest. The one on my lip is it's almost dry down. It is a little bit dry, and I could probably put a lip gloss over it or something like that, but do I want to wear a lip gloss every time I wear a lipstick like this? No. Should it be workable just by itself? Yes. And I'm probably not going to leave this on, so you're not going to be able to see it like flaking off or anything. Maybe I'll be able to show you at the end of the video. Maybe I'll be able to show you now. I'll zoom you in. You can actually see it. Can you see on my lip how it's sort of just come off? All I've been doing is this. And it's just starting to like come off, but it comes off in one go. It doesn't fade. I'm just left with bits of my lip that don't have any lipstick on them. Isn't that great? Isn't that just what you want in a lipstick? It looks ridiculous. I will fix this and then we'll do an outro. So there we go. That is a full face of products that I personally found a little disappointing when I tested them. Let me know down below if there's any products that you were personally disappointed in. I'd just be interesting to hear. But if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you like my content, please consider subscribing. I put up 2 videos a week and it's all makeup content, so if that sounds like your type of thing, then this is the place for you. I promise not all my videos are this negative. I know that being negative is part of the job of testing makeup, you have to be honest. I just sometimes struggle with being negative, so I just thought I'd get it all out in one video. I hope you realised it was just a little bit of fun, but anyway, I'll let you enjoy your day. Have a great day and an amazing week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.